The Royal Enfield Scram is back and it's now called the Scram 440. It gets an extra gear. So how does it change the riding experience? Let's find out. Hi guys, my name is Evan and we have been riding the Scram 440 for a couple of days now. And while a whole lot of it is not that different, there are enough changes to make it, interesting. So how is it interesting? Well, first of all, it's now a higher capacity, slightly higher capacity. It's now 443cc, although it's called the 440. And then of course it gets a 6th gear. The most important part is that a whole lot of the torque, that slightly higher amount of torque that is available right now, comes in at 4000 rpm. Like when you consider it to the Himalayan or even the Gorilla, what happens is that on the Himalayan and the Gorilla, all the fun starts above 3500 rpm. Over here you have the whole lot of torque available at 4000 rpm. So it maintains that original fun of the Himalayan and takes that torque available a little bit more, and that, my friend, is where all the fun is. And when you have bottom end torque available on a motorcycle like this, you can basically have a whole lot of fun in the city, you can have a whole lot of fun off-road, and you can have a whole lot of fun probably everywhere except the highway, and I'll tell you more about it. It was like around 3-4 o'clock, and that means there's a lot of traffic. So the moment we got out of the bike and we were dumped straight into traffic, as long as you're moving, the torque feels nice. Second gear, third gear, there's plenty of torque to move around in the city without having to constantly change the gears. You don't have to come down to the first gear for that speed breaker. It will just pull cleanly in second gear, and since you have really long suspensions, you can maintain some more speed and even pull cleanly in third gear. But the moment it becomes stop and go traffic, there was a lot of heat thrown at us. But there's one more aspect to it. The bike which we got had barely done about 300 kilometers, so the first service is also not done. Maybe after the first service it might be a bit more relaxed and the engine settles down a bit more. But in city, as long as you're moving, a lot of torque, a lot of fun. Now out on the highway, a little bit different. 0 to 5 gears, plenty of torque available across the rev range. But the moment you put it into 6th, it's an overdrive gear as expected. Things sort of calm down. You need lesser RPMs to maintain the speed. It's not as bad as something like on the CB350, where once you put it into top gear, it just goes like massively overdriven, and you just have to always go down 1 or 2 gears to overtake. This is not like that. You can have enough, there is enough power left, enough torque left for maintaining that speed and actually overtakes, not hurried overtakes, relaxed overtakes. But if you want to have fast overtakes, you have to shift down because the 6th is quite overdriven. If you're planning touring with this, if you're on the highways, you can keep speeds of about 100 comfortably. We touched the top speed, some speedo indicated above 120 and between 130. That is for my size, close to 90-95 kgs with all the gear. Maybe lighter people can have a little bit more better top speed, but where the relaxed cruising speed is basically at the 100th mark, and it will sit there refined, smooth in 6th gear without any problem, and it can do that all day. And there is no heat thrown at you, and it feels very smooth and refined. Probably one thing that could have been better, or maybe the guys at Royal Enfield could have added, is a lighter clutch, because the clutch felt a bit heavy, especially in city conditions. That probably something that you want to get used to, and but a lighter clutch would have made it a little bit more fun in the city conditions, and maybe even while you're off-road, because you might have to constantly change gears in both these situations. Alright, now coming to handling and braking. Well, handling of it, it is still quite heavy at about 196 kg curb weight. You don't feel that weight. The suspensions are soft, it is well balanced. The seat height is just below 800 mm, 795 or something, and it's not bad at all. It feels very comfortable. It's a very simple get on the bike, get riding. There is no getting used to the bike. It's that sort of a motorcycle. Suspensions are really soft. I mean, just like the previous Scram, and basically that is also inspired from the previous Himalayan. The suspensions are soft, which makes it comfortable in city conditions and actually quite friendly when you're taking it off the road. We had a couple of off-road patches here and there, and we did some off-road stuff, and we found it very intuitive. Like, there is no getting used to. Just get on it, get moving, and that's about it. While the new Himalayan is not like that. That is like a designed like a proper adventure bike, which is a bit top heavy and a lot of things going on that you need to upskill yourself. Well, this is not like that. This is more like get on it and get going. And while it might not be as capable as the new Himalayan, but this is a more friendly version of it that you can have more fun with, even if you're in the learning phase. It doesn't feel intimidating in any way. Coming to braking, well, it's got dual channel ABS. The front is a little bit soft and it has quite a bit of nosedive as expected. So in city conditions, you might not get that sharp initial bite that you want, because you have the compression happening, and the front brakes also probably could use a little bit more sharpness. But no way is it bad. It's about just getting used to the style of braking that you required for this bike. Out on the highway and everywhere else, brakes were solid. It did not feel like we needed anything more. It was comfortable, safe, and the rear ABS is switchable. So in case you want to have this sliding fun off-road and things like that, you can switch that off as well. So in terms of variants, there are two variants. There is a variant with the spoke and it's not tubeless spoke, and there's this tubeless version which is the alloy as well. In terms of, it depends on what you want. The entry price for the spoke version is a little bit more cheaper. The alloy version is of course a bit costlier. I would suggest stick to the alloy version because it's definitely not a hardcore off-road machine, and the tubeless feature is always a boon to have on our roads. So if you can increase your budget a little bit more, go for the alloy wheel version and be kind of tension free. So who is the Scram 440 for? Well, actually it's for everybody and anybody, because this is a very simple bike to get used to, simple bike in terms of its performance, a simple everyday bike which got enough bottom and torque, so even with the pillion things are going to be easy to ride. If you hit an off-road patch, it's got enough ground clearance and really good suspensions to make you feel comfortable on it. It can double up as your touring bike, can do some off-road fun, not the crazy stuff that you see on these videos and all these guys doing, but it can do off-road stuff, not crazy off-road, but yeah, it can do the basic stuff quite well, and it can do the daily grind also quite well since it's quite comfortable. So a good all-rounder bike, that is not going to restrict you on or off the road. It's got enough torque to keep things interesting, and it's got enough speeds to keep things interesting on the highway as well. So it's a really fun bike. It's not exactly exciting, but yeah, it's got a lot of things that can make it that one bike that can do it all in your garage. Maybe things can improve a little bit here and there in terms of build quality, but overall I think it's a very good one bike garage kind of a bike. So if you have any questions, do let us know in the comment below. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.